So this is going to be a spoiler review for the movie Honey Bunch, a film I really liked. It's Canadian directors. It's going to be debut on Shudder, but not everyone has Shudder, and maybe you don't know if you want to watch the movie or get Shudder just for this movie, or check it out if you have Shudder. I recommend it, but I'll get into the plot so that you can make up your mind. We're following Homer and Diana. They're driving up to a special clinic for Dr. Trephine's special miracle sort of treatment for because Diana was in a car accident and she lost some musculature and her memories. So apparently Dr. Trephine's amazing treatment will let her recover her memories and help her with her physical treatment. And however, the first night there, Diana starts seeing some weird things, and Homer's a little bit secretive and weird, and she's not really sure whom to trust because she's just weirded out by this kind of creepy clinic thing. And this is one of those movies where everything is put into the final twist. The movie is a slow burn, kind of character-driven story. We do get a subplot, a B story of Joseph and Jojo, a father-daughter duo. She fell from her canoe and lost like some brain damage and lost oxygen, so she's sort of recovering, and that's why she's there to do the miracle treatment. However, there's something that he mentions that the audience isn't privy to, but Joseph tells Homer that Jojo knows, and Homer's a little bit worried by that, and it sort of gives you a little clue. There's more clues thrown out about the twist ending. Numerous sort of conversations about, would you still love me if I was like in a wheelchair, in a coma, would you still love me, blah blah blah. It's because the big twist of the movie for Honey Bunch is that Dr. Trephine's miracle treatment thing is actually just cloning. When Homer brings Diana to the facility, it's actually not for the first time. She's Diana 4, and there's 3 others that tried to do first. The original Diana is dead, and they used her sort of DNA makeup to make new clones, kind of like in the movie Brandon Cronenberg's movie, the one with Mia Goth, Infinity Pool. In that movie, clones can be made really quickly, so this is kind of like the same thing. So the twist is that Dr. Trephine has a miracle sort of thing to create new clones. So the first Diana, she's like a blob, but she still has her mind intact, so he reads to her. And the second one, she is the same, but she hates Homer. And then the third one is the one that Diana keeps seeing. Diana 3 is the one that keeps running around. She's forgetful and kind of like a childlike. So by the end of the film, we find out that Diana finds out, and she wants to free them. She hates Homer, but she finds Homer taking care of them. He loves any form of Diana, and he will stay there even if the last Diana, who's perfect, she's too perfect because she remembered all of the memories that she wasn't supposed to. So by doing so, they reconcile. However, Diana too escapes and stabs Homer and viciously stabs him multiple times. And then a fire breaks out because of Joseph. His trials of making Jojo didn't work. Jojo 4 had a aneurysm of sorts, or she just died. So they cremated her and gave her the ash, gave her in ash form to him, and they wouldn't let him say goodbye to Jojo 3. And that's the sort of weird twist that it's a pretty good B story because it's an example of it not working. Joseph even told all the clones that, that they're clones, so it's a different dynamic because he trusts them. So he has his elegant goodbye, but then he sets the place on fire because he doesn't approve of it not working, and that it feels a little bit cheap. It's one of the reasons why I didn't give Honey Bunch a perfect 10. Was I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 because the fire conveniently wipes out all the other Dianas. I honestly thought they were going to do like a weird sort of family where he takes them all with him, and there's going to be a weird 4-on-1 sort of, and that's why they're his Honey Bunch. But the fire wipes out all of the Dianas except for the last one, and then she rescues him, but he's in a wheelchair. And then they repeat the beginning scene of the film where she's taking him for a dip, but then she jokingly almost drowns him to show the power dynamic has shifted, but they still love each other. And it's kind of okay. I was hoping for maybe her to rescue Homer, and then they try to clone him again, and they repeat the driving to the new clinic, and Homer not knowing, and it'd be an interesting sort of thing, but they didn't want to go in that direction, which is fine. But I really liked how the movie hides its true nature. It's a sci-fi sort of film, but it's not a horror. It's more of a psychological thriller, sci-fi, but they hide that in the trailer, and you really don't really see it coming, really. I really like that twist. So if you're in for a weird little, bizarre treat in the vein of a Cronenberg film, but it's mainly about, a couple trying to ultimately deal with grief and loss. That's kind of like one of the main themes, because they have multiple conversations of like, Homer not being able to handle losing her, so he went to extreme lengths, and would he still take care of her if she was not at her best? And I guess they're both tested with this sort of treatment and whatever. And I do like the B story too. It's pretty good. It doesn't always work, and it was still a really emotional time for Joseph and Jojo. And there's also one more couple. I forget the name of the lady, but she's kind of like the woman of the house, the matron. Her husband is Delwyn, and he's maybe 70-80% of her old husband. He still has trouble remembering stuff, but she accepts that it's, that's the best she can get. She'd rather have, like a sort of like not full version of her ex-husband than no ex-husband at all. So one of the major themes of the film is not being able to let go of a loved one. And we do see some other rooms in the facility. I'm surprised they didn't have animals, like multiple pairs of dogs, but I guess it only works with humans for this movie. They didn't want to get 3 identical dogs and do the whole thing, but it'd be an interesting concept. I liked it a lot. So that's my spoiler review of Honey Bunch.